I decided to put my money where my mouth is and purchase Apple's latest M2 iPad Pro, following a video that I made about a week ago where I claimed that the iPad Pro was not only a waste of money, but a huge disappointment. I'm going to talk about whether you should consider getting the M2 iPad Pro or whether you should potentially hold off this year. Before we get into it, these videos are really expensive to make and I don't get any of this stuff for free. So if you're enjoying this content or you find it helpful, a like and a sub to the channel would mean a lot, and maybe even consider hitting that post notification bell. Anyways, I think there's no doubt about it that the M2 iPad Pro is the best iPad that you can buy. Performance-wise, display, battery life, it's the no compromise iPad. That being said though, I don't really think there were any compromises to be had with even the M1 iPad Pro. Currently, on Apple's refurbished website for 800 Canadian dollars, which is roughly 580 USD, you can purchase yourself a 12.9-inch third generation iPad Pro with 256 gigabytes of storage. For reference, the new M2 iPad Pro in Canada costs $1629. So you're quite literally saving double if you went with the third gen. And if we look at the differences between the M2 iPad Pro and the third gen iPad Pro, we can justify whether or not it's a good idea to upgrade. On the third gen iPad Pro, we get Bluetooth 5.0 instead of 5.3, an A12X Bionic instead of the M2 found in the new iPad Pro, and a less bright non-mini LED display with no Wi-Fi 6 support. You also don't get USB 4 capabilities, the ability to shoot in 4K, and a new ultra-wide camera. That being said though, who actually uses an iPad to record video? You do still get a ProMotion 120Hz display, Apple Pencil Gen 2 support, up to 10 hours of battery life, Face ID, and basically the same core features. Respectively though, when it comes to performance, there's no doubt that the M2 blows it out of the water. With a near 70% faster GPU and 50 to 60% faster CPU cores, it's not even a competition. But is that a big deal, and is it worth paying over double for? I mean, these iPad Pros don't even have any Pro application support from Apple. We still don't have Final Cut Pro, and we still don't have Logic for any of you music producers. There are apps like LumaFusion and DaVinci Resolve coming to iPad, but these apps are already so light and optimized that I don't think you need an M2 to do anything or be any more capable than what you could do with the other iPads. And when it comes to a workload that you'd see on an iPad, I doubt anyone's working with movie-like timelines. Like when it comes to anything professional or anything that you'd take seriously, is anyone gonna actually be using an iPad to do that real work? Even I struggled to edit these 4K videos on an M1 Pro 16-inch MacBook Pro. I'll admit it though, this M2 iPad Pro has been a great experience. I've been enjoying using it with the Magic Keyboard for writing the script and using split view to keep spec sheets up for reference. The whole experience has been nothing but smooth, but in my case with gaming, script writing, content consumption, and browsing the internet, I can't help but notice that this experience is exactly what you could get on another iPad. What makes me upset is that the 12.9-inch iPad Pro is literally the only 12.9-inch iPad that you can buy, or else I would just go out and get a 12.9-inch iPad Air if that was a product that existed. And that's mainly because I feel like when it comes to the value proposition, the 12.9-inch iPad Pro is just a huge waste of money compared to the cheaper iPad Air. And an even bigger slap in the face is that the Magic Keyboard for this iPad cost 450 Canadian dollars, yet it lacks basic things like function keys to be able to change the volume or display brightness. For the price of this keyboard, I kid you not, I could have bought an entirely other iPad, which is the iPad 9th gen, and that is also 450 Canadian dollars. This kind of price gouging is what makes the iPad Pro, especially this M2 iPad Pro, ridiculously hard to recommend to anyone. If you already own a 12.9-inch or 11-inch iPad Pro, there's literally no reason for you to upgrade unless you truly believe that your workflow could actually benefit from having an M2 inside of your iPad. However, I truly believe that that may only apply to a couple of people watching this video. I haven't even talked about what's new with this iPad yet because I just wanted to get everything ludicrous out of the way. So anyways, Wi-Fi 6E, which is sort of a lie because it doesn't actually support a 6 GHz band, Bluetooth 5.3, which will only benefit you if you're connecting it to other Bluetooth 5.3 devices like the new AirPods Pro 2, Apple Pencil Hover, which again may only be useful to a handful of people, And even that is very confusing because it's exactly how the S Pen works on Samsung phones, which has been around for like what, 10 years now? And what makes it even weirder is that there's no actual hardware changes that have made this feature possible only on M2. This is just another software lock thing done by Apple to make it worth the upgrade because they know themselves that nothing really has changed. You also do get the new updated rear shooters, which will allow you to shoot 4K 30 FPS ProRes on your iPad. Yes, ProRes on the iPad. So, next time you want to just go out and film a movie or something, just take your iPad with you, I guess? It doesn't make any sense to me. Overall, if you're catching on to the theme of this video, and even with my last couple videos about the latest Apple products, there's nothing new. Nothing is worth upgrading for. The platform has basically been solidified for years now, and there's nothing really remarkable that's happened to the iPad Pro, honestly, since its inception. That being said though, and this may be a little contradicting, I will be keeping the M2 iPad Pro. I haven't actually had much faith in Apple recently, but there seems to be a pretty credible rumor that macOS 14, or at least a cut down slimmed version of macOS 14, will be coming exclusively to M2 iPads in the future. This may be why we haven't seen things like Final Cut Pro or Logic or any other real Pro applications, but I kind of doubt that. I mean, it would be nice though. The M2 MacBook Air has the same SoC that's found inside of this iPad Pro, and people do use that for content creation. I think we are pretty close to seeing Apple embrace the iPad Pro and see it as a full-fledged computer replacement. I mean, it wasn't even really that long ago where the iPads didn't have mouse or trackpad support. Literally, March 2020 is when they added the ability to use a mouse and use a trackpad with your iPad. Trackpad with your iPad. So I think as time goes on, the iPad will start to become a much more functional device for most people. In my opinion, there isn't really anything quite like it. I tried out the Tab S8 Plus a while back, but there was just a lot of issues when it came to app support. And even though Dex was pretty cool, I didn't find myself being able to use it as a laptop replacement. And if I'm going to be spending $2,000 on an iPad with a keyboard, sure as hell I want to use that as a laptop replacement. Anyways, whether it's your first iPad or you're upgrading from an old one, there's no doubt that this is literally the best iPad that you can buy. It just depends on how deep your pockets are and how much you're willing to spend for a marginal upgrade. So that's been it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, a like and a sub to the channel would be much appreciated. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.